Hey guys, welcome back to our playthrough of Disco Elysium. In the last episode, we found the sniper's shooting nest. We started a generator and now we need to go out this door, but there's eyes on us and things are about to get crazy. So, we're going to continue the story. If you do enjoy this episode, remember to like and subscribe. And what are we going to do? We're going to save. We've learned our lesson before. Let's just save just in case. Who knows if I saved before? Let's go. Come on, Kim. Where am I? I'm nervous. That I am. I'm trying to figure out if I should put some skill points in. I'm scared. I have 3 skill points. I don't know if I should use them. Ooh. Yes. Small white flowers blossom all around you. These are the fucking Maybells! These!
6 crumbling.
What if I told you I wanted to put a point into Shiver? What would you guys think about that? What would you think about my choice? Because here I went it. I did it. Okay, anyway. A rubber dinghy. It's deflated and broken. Shivers, let me know if something's gonna happen. I'm scared. I'm scared! Should I put my reaction speed up? Let's put one of those up. Okay. Whew, whew. Hello? Hello?
An old man
Who the
wearing
fuck is
tracksuit
this?
trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours. Unclouded by cataracts, his eyesight is sharp. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
Are you the fire guy?
What now? I can't hear you.
Did you really tell 2 kids to put out their fire? 2 twins?
I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around, trying to give up the position.
Who is this?
The position sounds like a hiding place.
Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up.
You retained your eyesight?
My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit.
A shudder of disgust passes his right side. His left side remains motionless.
Did you close the blast door?
I did. And you opened it. How?
I fueled the generator, then used the console.
I should have burned that console down.
How'd you know I was coming?
Reactionary rock and roll music. Playing on the water.
Listen, someone's got to play it.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
But you didn't say that, Kim. It's not rock and roll, it's sad FM.
Sad FM, huh? I always hated that station. Phlegmatic, counter-revolutionary dirges. Sadness is a mental illness. A weapon of the bourgeoisie.
This guy makes me uncomfortable. Who is this?
The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate. Hip gyrating, mental illness music.
Nice gun you got
It's
there.
not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done.
Is that a bell?
It's a 3-angle
Magro.
446.
Southeast Samarin made. Exotic. Must be defunct too. No modern rifle manufacturer of that name springs to mind.
A Samaran rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Signal commune. Military aid.
It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing.
The Hinsan Yao commune.
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk wiped from the board.
Your weapon has stayed true to you. Mine has stayed true to me too.
Yes, I bet you've killed a lot of people with it. You fascist fuck. Have you come to make me one of them?
His right eye twitches. With what? Fear? Rage?
We have come to ask you questions, nothing more. If you do not comply, we will take you in. Do you understand?
Oh,
The danger levels here are hard to read. One moment he's afire, the next, a fire gone out.
I need you to put down the gun so we can talk further with the police. I'm with the police. You can keep the gun, but keep it down. That one, the first
The
one.
lieutenant pulls his pistol from the holster.
You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
We can try.
It's a good line, but your voice slips on, Commander, producing a little squeak.
Of course it does.
Sounds like you're afraid.
A big-time operator of the pederast army.
Authority!
How about I keep it, huh? Hand it over to a real killer. A Briscard.
The lieutenant aims his pistol square at the man's forehead.
Look at him. He's got style.
Put it down now, sir.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
Pick up the gun laying in the sand.
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. Frame stocked and patched in places with tape and wire.
Inspect it
The
closer.
rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangon, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao.
This uses jacket animation 4.46.
The right type and the right calibre.
He's liking this.
It's as he said, it's what it made in...
No
yeah.
one said it has to be a Belmagrave. We were just guessing.
From ballistics, it could easily have been a Triangon, too.
It doesn't matter if it was made in Shanty Shanty. All it has to do is
Shanty.
use jacketed ammunition. And it does.
The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. Some kind of involuntary response. Something is slightly off with his motorics. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession. In time.
Who are you?
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
Aww.
The commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? You're a holdover from the...
From the Insulindian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in 07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in 08. I left my
That was a long
unit
time
on
ago.
the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
Right? You've been on this island for 43 years?
No. I've been on other islands, too. I was in Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was an E-48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago.
Again, you've been hiding here for 43 years?
43 years and 10 months.
That's insane.
It's not how a human being should live. But I had to. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
Waiting for what?
Where the afternoon grows late, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people walk home. Street lights will soon be lit. Further inland, the streets are alive with workers, men, women, children, street hawks and migrant laborers. The temperature is steady. Alto cumulus clouds form above Precinct 41. Two police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer inspects a series of burnt black letters splashed across the plaza mosaic. Patrol officer Judith Minot points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smoldering. One day, it says, I will return to your side.
Always waiting.
For what?
For her to return.
Her who?
Girl, child, revolution.
Girl child revolution.
Always.
She better come. I've had giving my life to Mazovian socioeconomics. I dare not dream anymore. I'm afraid she's gone.
The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves.
I
The
don't know who the girl
historic
revolution
opportunity
is.
for our revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore. However hard I try, whatever I do.
I don't know who Girl Child Revolution is. I don't remember hearing her. You said you deserted your unit.
I was just 16 years old. 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And of courage, too.
Lapse of
You
faith?
could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took
For what?
for reaction to take hold.
What reaction?
Petty bourgeois terror. It's in all men.
It wasn't a reaction. You were just afraid. And when was this exactly?
May the 13th.
I'm not
08.
gonna say what I wanted to say.
44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds. Storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic.
Dark magic.
The combined might of international capital. All at once, all the greed and terror in the world tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the flak tower, huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room.
A terrible shame, still within him. The lobes of his ears are red with it. The shame and smallness of what he became.
And
I ran.
What then?
I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers underground, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened of the ordnance all night and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring.
What was that?
airships. I climbed out into hell. The landing was complete. The chain was submerged. I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too. Shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels, or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality.
Some kind of great terror.
Seen what?
Worse than you've ever seen.
Seen
The
what?
mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love. All the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. And then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know
What?
that the bourgeois are not human.
You've lost your
Now
mind.
is not the time, Lieutenant Yefreto.
I had to. I had to fight it. I could not stop anymore.
What is this place, this
It's
island?
not an island, Dwat. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender.
What was it used
The
for?
congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an AA gun to defend against an airborne landing. Against the whole world.
And you mean the landing, retaking of Revachol?
Coalition military called it Operation Deathblow. I later found out on the radio they called it Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone.
First, I'm not one of them.
Sure you are. You're RCM. Answer me. Who calls an operation against 50 million people Deathblow?
Coalition military.
Iblis,
Iblis?
the black-eyed angel.
How have you survived all this time?
How does anyone survive? I steal.
Now hold on there.
That's a choice. You could have become self-employed, created a system.
You're insane and grotesque.
I'm grotesque?
Everyone steals. Vegetables, supplies. It's the life of a dog.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stool, too.
He
Ew.
does seem frail. Gaunt for his age. More like 75 than 65. Trouble putting on weight could mean cancer.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die.
Oh.
You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
How have you coped mentally?
I haven't.
Oh,
I have holes in my brain.
me too, though.
Years missing.
Same.
Others filled with pain only. A decade of
Same.
I don't even know what. Inferno?
I also live in hell.
At least you know it. The traders of this city turned the lights back on in the 30s, after the fighting stopped. Ruins, glittering in the dark like a fucking merry-go-round. It's disgusting.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
How have you concealed yourself all these years?
It was hard in the Thames. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinaise and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequency's dead.
How did you get back here in the mainland?
At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I just...
The weapon cache under St. Glen's 2020B in the basement. Have you been there?
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Belmer graves, right?
They were damaged beyond
I know.
use.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
You feel the dots connecting. Little dots on the map he's walked across.
There's a small bunker under the Fella building. Have you stayed there?
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys.
Killed themselves?
A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground.
One more question. Do you smoke those...
I do.
Ever smoke them in the on the mainland?
They're good. Plenty of tar. I like that boy on the pack, too. Reminds me of the last century.
Why don't you just walk there?
I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs. Men without ideals are only animals.
He does not want to see life moving on. People forgetting, drinking, laughing.
Tell me another thing.
The old man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
You said that your termless surrendered.
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol.
We keep these animals from killing each other.
You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste d'Insulindian. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
Jesus.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit. Rene, the royalist on the coast, said,
You never signed the Revachol instrument of surrender.
Liberal reactionaries signed that instrument. Traitors who should have been burned alive. I answer to the Communist Party.
I bet you do.
Is that part of why you've been here all this time? Because the party didn't surrender?
he just wipes the blood from his chin.
Honorable.
Honor is a feudal atavism. My motive is class.
So you're a communist soldier from the communist army.
No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army.
But you said you were trained against the defense corps.
Trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something.
What does the political commissaire do?
The old man does not answer.
Oh.
He tilts his silver head and looks at the reeds. You see a small tremor pass through his legs.
His job was to assure the army answers to civilian control and follows the ideology of the Commune.
Scientific communism. A commissaire politique is a knight philosopher of the revolution, a future human.
Awakened from shutdown by the promise of ideology.
That means you train communists,
He
right?
nods slowly. Then
I'm also
another tremor.
communist. I'm a moralist. I'm a nationalist. I'm revolutionary too. Today the real revolution is done by entrepreneurs. The real revolution is done by entrepreneurs, because that's just none of these, and that's the best answer.
You're part of the meat shield. The human meat shield that surrounds the fascists and the license holders. You take the fire while they rape and kill. That's what you are.
Who's doing
Detective, we have not come here to discuss ideology.
that? True.
We have come to ask questions regarding a murder investigation.
True.
the old man spits into the fire pit. He does not say anything more. A jitter passes his lower body.
I have another serious question for you.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce.
What have you been using this gun for?
I've used it for killing people.
Here we go. A trail
Riesling?
of blood. The lieutenant smells it too.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for.
It's for hunting.
You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Jeez.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war. Class war is never over.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay. This is it. You can feel it, like battery acid on the tip of your tongue. Something you haven't felt in a while. But
What?
this is what you live for. This is the shit. The great serotonin jackpot. The solution. Go in straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
Wait, which one do I say then?
Nothing comes to you. Silence.
Which
His
one do I
black
say?
eyes look at you. And in them, a chill, like electricity running up your spine, crawling into your skull.
What?
All is not as it seems.
Oh no, not again. Not that voice telling me shit, okay?
Detective.
So, did you use this gun to shoot and kill Colonel of the security contractor Crinell?
The who now?
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it. You're in.
The fascist death squad who took the bullet in a mouth the night of March 4th.
Oh yes, that one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. Get a confession. The gun. The murder weapon is the perfect opener. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember. Something about the tracks. Suddenly, all those tracks are so confusing. Go with something else first.
He said start with the gun. I got this. Show him the gun.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistol. I've seen you prance around with that. Jumping hoops for the liberals. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons?
I mean, they all kill people.
Going against automatic rifles with these toy guns. Of course you got those boys killed.
Ah, shit.
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen. He would have a good view of the tribunal from here. It's not just empty boasting. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
Stop changing subject. We have a murder weapon.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it?
You think we have the murder weapon?
4.46 jacketed ammunition, modified for range. We have it.
I'm calling
This is it.
We have the murder weapon.
Good. This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer.
Murder.
We've done ballistics. The shot came from this
I
island.
saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession. You've been here a long time, Mr. Dross. Too long. You clearly need medical aid.
I'm ready to die. I've done my part.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascists for fascists. Done his part.
You said fascies. You admitting you killed him?
You're sad for your fascia brother, aren't you? One twig got broken. Now the others are sad.
What am I forgetting?
Wait, here it comes. The
Yeah,
goddamn
the
Maybells.
Maybells! I
The dried
told you!
Maybells on Clausia's roof.
Yes! I said that when we got on this fucking island. I was like, these are the Maybells. I'm smart. I remembered. Oh, yeah.
There were Maybells in the grass when you got here.
Uh-huh.
They're revolutionary symbols from the war.
Yes!
Nowhere else, nowhere in all of Martinaise have you seen them this spring.
Exactly.
Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Clausia's bedroom. Now they're gonna come up.
Of course. Thank you. Heads up for that.
You got it. Remember, the boot prints were like no modern soul.
I'm wondering what brand of boots you're wearing.
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa? Some shit.
Show me the soles, please, Mr. Dross.
Fucking imbecile.
Covers the soles. What up?
The maker is called Sansarique, and the size is 42 to 44. These are not the unusual horizontal pattern soles you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room. They do, however, seem to be about the same size.
The size fits, but not the sole.
Wait, maybe it's simpler than that?
Simpler? No.
Apparently not.
This is another loose thread you will never connect.
Damn it! Goddamn footprints everywhere. I hate
The
them.
lieutenant raises his brow. What are you doing? He's thinking. We almost got him here. Not now. Stop yourself.
People change shoes, detective. It was you. You were there, weren't you? Crawling and whirling in rags. What were you doing? Some kind of reconnaissance? Preparing the scene? Listening in on her?
Trying to rack your brains. You're desperate to report something back to your masters. They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silent suddenly, some strange process within him. A gush of wind. Seagulls in the distance. You've almost got him. Just a last little push.
There were Maybells behind the victim's window.
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them.
He seems tender suddenly. Nostalgic even. A strange mood swing.
So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away.
I haven't seen these flowers anywhere else in Martinaise, only here.
They blossom on the islets before. We fertilized them with our blood. Resurrection was snow white in May, before they ruined it.
South, the Bay of Martinaise is dotted with little freckles of islets, turning green, with white flowers in white snow.
The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken, useless trash for fat-fingered bourgeois children to play with.
You must get around a lot to stay undetected all these years. Do you know any secret paths? Pinball workshops?
I may.
A young woman named Claudia, ring any bell? These dried flowers were behind her window.
Classier.
You know her, right? She had intimate relationship with the victim, the mercenary.
With the victim.
There is a small tremble. Looks like a smile. A crooked smile. Yet isn't quite voluntary. He's about to burst.
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer. Armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer. Dripping with blood.
I mean, he was a killer, but he was still under the protection of the law.
Beating us to the ground. Moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner. Got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when they die by the hundreds.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
So you shot him.
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol.
The lieutenant raises his right arm to hush you. Hush. He does not need to be pushed anymore. The ball is rolling, while the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
Hold your breath.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them, in phase, and I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death, and that stupid look on his face. And his dick still in her.
Then what?
Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere.
What the fuck?
The world was white. Or what's left of it, anyway. My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own. And so they did.
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
Yes.
And you were looking at them, the victim and a young woman, having sex, through the scope of your rifle that night, before you shot him?
The old man nods.
What the fuck? This
Why?
is so random.
Because that's what they were doing.
The motive. This is where the motive is going to come from.
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part.
Why were you looking at them at night?
I'm always looking.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? I'm just trying to understand.
A rifle scope has the best magnification.
Helps him see all the shit.
And if you don't like it?
Click.
It's part of the shit you see.
Then you pull the trigger?
Yes. Think of it as a form of critique.
You got him going. Connect every little piece now. Wrap this up like a gift.
What specifically did you not like about what you saw that night of the murder?
Them fucking. I didn't like that.
So you were jealous?
Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself, drugged out, soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die so he could not enjoy life anymore. And I wanted to see his head explode. That too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second, writhing. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But you can't have everything.
This man has seen past her, like you did.
How long had you been watching her?
Since she came to Martinaise. I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Feld building. It was dark, still winter. She didn't have her skimpy outfit on then, just a spot in the night, moving.
Past the Feld building on the coast? What was she doing there?
Right.
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking. She was nervous, but not scared.
What do you think she hid there?
Her passport and tickets to Villiers. And from there to Cachet-Brou.
In the free state of Seminine, hidden away at the edge of the earth, near the Pale.
Some kind of hidden container on the coast? You looked into it?
Yes, after she'd gone. It was a submersible. Well made, actually.
Sloppy. We should have gotten her to tell us about this. Did you take the documents?
No, I put them back. Why would I take them? I'm not going to phone. Oh, I mean...
Move on. Did you continue watching her after that?
I did. She had a face like an archipelago, with those birthmarks, and a body hard and lean and bruised all over, black and yellow. I could see she's taken a beating. I could see who she was, too. A spook, on the run. Revachol's the cloaca of capital now. All the bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals.
You could tell she was a spook from the documents?
She had different color hair on the photo, and glasses. Forged. Some sordid bourgeois affair. I've heard about this kind of thing on the radio.
The bruises. You can't make that out in a scope.
And you could see her bruises through the scope of a rifle?
You can't see bruises through a scope. It's just a blur.
How does he know those minute details about her?
It quickly comes to you.
The bruises on her body, any chance have you seen them through a hole in the wall?
Oh, yes. Cutting those drugs of hers into little lines with a knife. Masturbating.
Did you make that hole?
With a clip point knife.
Ew, why?
Good for listening in, too. For hearing the moaning and the snorts.
Even see her through the window? Ever see her through the window on a roof?
Like that, too. Yes. Bending like a bow against the glass.
You've been through the secret route behind the whirling rads. Those were your footprints there? You just changed your shoes.
I've been through all of Martinaise. Every nook and cranny.
And that too.
Yes, that too. The things they did in that little room. What she'd do to feel good. Funny the way light works. You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but
Those two took the cake. You hear the familiar scribble of the lieutenant's pen. A quick glance at you. One more loose end down. We're doing this, detective.
Right?
How did you get in there? The hidden pinball workshop.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an antisocial. Closing hour is a good time. The kitchen's empty.
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen? How?
Right?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope.
Andy found use for it. A spare key, like the one hanging behind the Union Box window.
Did you have feelings for that woman?
There's nothing to hold on to. Only this. It's not enough.
The coals of his eyes glisten suddenly, like stones dripping with water. Is he crying?
Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have your eye on something there. It's weakness, I know.
Was that why you left the dried flowers behind in her window?
No,
Why then?
I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying, like a child, in the corner of her room on the floor, like she does sometimes.
When was this?
The day after I killed him.
And you brought her Maybells.
Yes, I don't know why I do the things I do anymore.
You wanted to console her.
Maybe. I told you, I have holes in my brain now. I wouldn't just sit here waiting for you.
A sudden pang of rage.
If you came 10 years ago, I would have killed you.
In the silence, the lieutenant draws a line in his notes, then nods at you once more. One more down.
So in conclusion, it wasn't about him, it was about her.
Her.
The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement. That's it. Motive. We have it.
Where is she, that Clasier? I haven't seen her there for days.
She got away. I'm not gonna lie. There's no reason to lie, I don't think. She got away, but she led us here first. She figured out someone was watching her from the seafront.
Gone. I knew it. She kept staring into the scope this last week at the island, like she knew. She'd look at night, crying or smoking on the roof, staring right into me. It doesn't matter.
Midtown, across the Bay of Revachol, the oceanic wind washes 40-story towers. Above them, Lausanne Central Aerodrome, a cocoon suspended in the sky by a web of suspension wiring, encircled by hybrid aircraft. On the platform, a young woman is withdrawing from amphetamines, barbiturates, and alcohol. Yet still, she smiles among the crowd, among the great ghosts of the city she's leaving. For another, far south, smaller, distant, hidden. Not like the great chandelier she sees sparkle in the night below her. Streetlights, towers, tenements, and water. And across it, a dark strip of ruins, barely visible, if she didn't squint her eyes. There, on a dilapidated jetty, in a nameless village, 2 police officers and 1 special consultant look across a narrow strip of sea. The ruins of a seafort stick out of the water, built by Philippe II, reappropriated by the Commune, then lost in the landing. He's there, doing what exactly, I don't know. Satellite Officer Vic Mayer points at the ruins. Behind that anti-aircraft something. That's why we can't see him. Special Consultant Heidelstam is optimistic. We'll see the boat when he comes. Let's go get a coffee until then. I know this interesting little place. Where? As the men go, Patrol Officer Minnow looks back over her shoulder at the crumbling fortification like a rotten tooth rising out of the water. Good luck, Harry, she thinks. You need something good for this.
We could get more. We've got him talking.
Who knows what he's seen and done over the years? Enough. Take him in. Bend his arms behind his back and end this.
Been looking at anything else you haven't liked?
A tragic comedy. Druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers.
A strange little engine seems to fire up in him again. It straightens his back. The familiar put of hatred.
More specifically?
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house. Stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinaise is the worst.
How come?
Because of the racists. Everyone is a racist in Martinaise.
Me and this man,
It's
that's
their
what I agree
favorite
with
thing
him.
to do in the whole world.
I agree with you on that.
Listening to race-themed radio shows. In the ruins, in their lorries. Pumped full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that social democratic union and the farce of a social democrat who runs it.
Mr. Clare?
Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square, to spit on the working class.
Let's him finish. Do not interrupt.
Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinaise proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruins. In tents, like animals. Like those boom morons on the ice.
That's true.
A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs.
Oof.
The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht,
Oh.
licking her lips. The old whore's gone now.
Yeah.
Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead. So, actually, no. The worst is that old cock parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins too. Every morning he's there. While the
not.
parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon, or Koyamorang, or some other island they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children.
Renee died.
That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children.
What?
Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. At least that old cunt, Frisell, is now dead. We did good when we pushed him under that horse car. If only, in the 30s, those disco whores...
The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center, leaving only a nonsensical sputter. There was something about a statue and nihilistic advertising agency people. Might be worth investigating.
There's something about the statue and the roundabout and syphilis?
Syphilis is a disease Philippe III contracted in a whorehouse. The statue is an abomination.
Abomination.
The bacteria entered his brain and made him squander trillions on sparkling wine, cocainum, and monuments of himself. His son, Philip IV, the insane, contracted syphilis in the womb.
Ooh.
That is technically possible, although Philippe III was not actually syphilitic. He was just mad.
And he still went on to govern Revachol for 25 years. We lost 2 million lives toppling that mode of government. And those grotesque statues, too. Hundreds of them.
But it's still there.
What a keen remark. Yes, it is, isn't it? It's still there. Do you know why?
Because the king is holy and his statue is indestructible. Because the cynical advertising yippies erected a deconstructed version of
That's
it.
right. Some advertising cockroaches erected a cynical deconstruction of it. We tore it down with honest working-class plastic explosives. And there it is again. Art is a bourgeois establishment. It's an affront to humanity. Every gallery should be bulldozed, and the artists should all be given 30 years of hard labor in Yekokata.
You mentioned the Union Social Democrat and Mr. Clare farces of Social Democrat.
Another hideous disappointment. Unions are the real enemy. The true enemy of the proletariat. Placating the masses.
Disappointment. So personal. He displays a familiarity with the Union's top brass.
Who's a disappointment? Everett Clare?
That deformed toad? I wouldn't expect him to wipe his own ass. I mean, the brains of the operation. The smart one.
Edgar.
You mean Edgar, Everett's brother.
He talks a big game about uprising and social base. They must have sent the smart one to some university in Le Jardin, where it's alienation this and hegemony that.
You've talked to him.
First against the wall with him.
The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time. Nothing happens in Martinaise without them knowing.
Right.
Of course. Maybe the Clears asked him to.
Mr. Royce, did you kill Colonel Martinaise for the Clares to enact a riot?
You know why I killed that fucker, Dwat. As to Edgar, I'm not doing anything for that swine again.
Again? What have you done for Edgar before?
Right?
Tried teaching him some Marzovian socioeconomics. They didn't stick. We parted ways.
Okay, he didn't do the hanged man for them, but he's insinuating something.
We'll be level up one more time. Just in case. 92! If we did not get a 92, that's crazy, dog. You know that? That would be crazy. Let's go.
The connection
thank
comes
God.
to you like a splash of cold water. Dark, cold water.
20 years ago, when you met Edgar, the Clares didn't run the Union, did they?
He acknowledges it. Here we go. A twist behind the dark bend.
Who did?
That bourgeois cow. Tiffin Holly was her name. Licked the rich man's hand every time he came to town. Never seen a labor leader so hot on mutual cooperation. And money. She liked that too. That Holly was a real bridge builder and a deal maker.
Bordering on sentimentality, it drips out of him. Tempered by something familiar to you.
She was also when...
familiar
Wasn't she
rage.
like... And then she just disappeared.
Called in, they say. On the eve of battle.
Yeah, she...
Ran away. Vanished like a piss stain.
I remember hearing about her.
No, that's not quite it, is it?
Did we hear about her?
Did she? They say her daughter called in, not
Yeah.
her personally. But that wasn't really her daughter, was it?
No, I guess it was not.
Edgar had someone make the call. Why is that, Mr. Dross?
She couldn't make the call herself.
Here it is. The bend in the river.
Why?
Because she was dead.
Just say nothing.
The cow caught a bullet in her right lung. Fell into the canal grasping her tit and drowned. Or bled? Hard to say. It was a sloppy job. And a moving target. She was going home. Waddling. Dressed in yellow. Drunk like she often was. The ruins are black around her, and she had a yellow leather bag under her arm. She tried to cross the canal, heading home to Grand Couronne or Betancourt, someplace like that, where they build those new bâtiments for the people who flourish in the hell around her. And the ruins.
You shot her.
Someone shot her. Or maybe the cow just fell. My memory is full of holes. All I know is...
Another big spike of rage, different from the one he has for her.
Nothing changed. Not in the material base, not in the hegemony. There was no uprising. Just words. The Union fizzled, sogged. Nothing came of it. Nothing.
Edgar didn't keep his part.
Oh, part of the deal, sorry.
If you were to testify to this, give the RCM something on Edgar, you could walk. We would strike everything you've done and process you as a POW. You were in a war. You were on assignment. We could even extradite you to the Samaran People's Republic.
A degenerate worker state. Go shit. No, thank you. I'm Revacholian. My days are short. I will rot away here, in a moral intern cell. I will not testify to anything.
But you did do
I
it.
saw it happen, and I liked it. That's all I have to say. I didn't live and fight for 40 years to end up as a collaborationist. I've heard it on Channel 8, 40 AM, Radio Revachol, late night. Everyone is a blobber in this world. Everyone betrays everyone. They're all already locked up for betrayal. The best ones, the ones with heart, were slaughtered, trampled.
The same old freezing hatred. There is plenty here to work with once he's in custody, and the lieutenant knows it. He gives you a little nod to proceed.
By the cock parading colorful uniform, mean Renee.
Every fucking morning.
Leave
For
Renee.
34 years. Throwing that ball. One ball against the other. I've always loathed that game. That is not a working class game. I don't care what they say on Radio June. Royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race. A tank maniac, race traitor.
Oh my god. I don't know
I
about
remember
that.
him. I remember him from La Noce. Not him, personally. His make and model.
His make and
There
model.
were tens of thousands of them. I thought we took them all out before the liberals came to their rescue. We missed one.
Aren't you talking about how everybody else is racist? But isn't this racist? I'm confused now, sir.
That one.
There doesn't seem to be a single person under the pine today. Not even Gaston. Alone.
Fat and plump, like a pheasant, just begging to be popped off. Please, Mr. Dross, shoot me.
He whispers with such predatory hunger. It borders on longing.
You'd like to kill him.
Not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face, and just fiddle the trigger. Think about it. Let the bomb melt in my mouth.
Save the treat for later?
He is a juicy
He's
bonbon,
dead.
that one. A real treat for the black day. The blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think. No, don't waste it. Put this lead in that cock Rene. For the boys he killed. And then I look at him throw those balls, and I suddenly feel better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him. Haven't seen him around lately, strutting around. Must be down with arthritis. I hope it hurts like hell. I hope he sweats blood.
He's dead. He died of old age a couple days ago.
No,
Yes.
I waited too long. I waited too long and now he's dead?
I'm sorry, Mr. Dross. I understand you knew him for a long time.
They're all dead now. Fuck him.
If he really wanted to kill him so bad, he would have done. There must have been 1,000 black days on these islands, his health ailing.
You cared about
All
him.
human beings care about each other. I cared for seeing his head explode. And now, God damn this world.
He reminded him of himself. The same hatred. The same. You try to think of something else, but no. It's just hatred.
I'm sorry.
Fuck you.
Oh, thanks.
You
Are you okay
think
to
I
go on?
haven't seen people die? It's all I've seen them do. Fuck and die.
Maybe
All the other
shouldn't
plans
creep
we
on
had.
people.
To love. To colonize the Pale. It's all fucked.
He's not okay. This is just another black day in a row of black days. Something strange is keeping him together, making him endure.
Disco
I
horse.
don't even care about those whores anymore. Get it over with. Take me in.
Glad we talked about this.
Glad
now.
we talked about what?
What was it? Composure? Well, we don't got any more things to do, so.
I ain't going.
Let's see if we have any clothes for composure. And it's yellow. +1 composure, my dog. Yellow. -1. Anything giving us not given. Okay.
The old man stares despondently at the logs. It's like his lip curls.
Glad we talked about what?
Let's try this one.
For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble, who spent his entire life alone on an uninhabited island,
Well, we didn't
he
do it.
seems surprisingly fit. He's prone to erratic hand gestures and clearly malnourished. But that's it. You can see no more by looking at his slouched frame. The moment passes, and you say,
There's nothing we can do about it. We don't have any. We don't have any way to get any more check marks, so. And, yeah. I don't have anything else. I thought that would have got it, but nope. I guess we're just going to arrest him because there's no way for me to come back for this. I don't have
I've
any-
used it.
here.
Killing
I've used
Interesting.
So he's continued killing. This is it. Of course, for the going straight. No, don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you.
She said
Get
you
personal.
killed people after active fighting.
What did I
stuff.
just say?
I'm seeing if I can get any points.
What did I just tell you?
I know you
Don't
want to tell
drop
me.
the
Have you
ball now.
killed anyone with a gun in the last week? Or
I
two?
don't want to tell you anything, you grotesque murderer.
And why did you think that? Nothing. And in them, a chill, the feeling.
Detective.
Nothing comes. And in them, a chill.
Detective.
The who now?
A beautiful, strong man. A man name, please. He was part of the security detail here in Martinaise.
Oh, yes. That one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol.
Exhaust him with the gun, the scent, something about the tracks.
You lost, Dwat. You lost.
Yep, let's just arrest him, because I don't really have the time or care to do that again. We tried our best. You're on the murder.
What?
On arrest.
But you said I would be taken to the...
Huh?
The sum of all the erratic movements, fidgeting, and mood swings he's been exhibiting. The wind picks up. The silence on the water is
Are you
broken
talking
all
about
around
we
you.
take you to get medical
Little
attention? We
shivers
will.
of waves appear. The lieutenant continues, like an incantation.
Your wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But...
Kim, he's afraid.
No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead.
What's happening?
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
We have... Can I do this? And do that? First say... Wait. I don't know if I can do one in the... I'm just gonna do that one.
You thought you heard something, but it's just the reeds.
Okay.
Maybe we could all fit in there.
Does it have room for 3?
Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here. But
But then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
Who watches him while you come back here?
you come back for me? How about I go and send a boat back for you?
What is this farce? This is a fucking farce. I can't.
Lillian, you could ask her maybe.
Maybe we can ask the net picker to watch it.
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
Full of confusion and rage, a fit of jasmivu like yours? The thought passes, more pressing matters take its place.
No, listen. Listen now.
What? What am I listening to? What am I listening to? What are you talking about? Below the confusion and rage, a fit of jasmivu like yours? The thought passes, more pressing matters take its place. You could come back for me once you've taken him to the
No,
proceeding
no,
scene.
it would take a whole day on this island. You go and transport the prisoner. I'll be here. I can escort him to the pier with you.
No need to be polite, I'll do
This
it.
world. What are you talking about? Is this... us?
Huh?
The wind is cold from the east. Your skin is crawling suddenly.
What's happening? What is happening? It's the Phasmid! Wah!
A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
What is that?
What are you talking about?
Look at him! He's beautiful. The giant stick insect!
There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall.
What the fuck?
It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand rise instinctively.
There it is, I see it!
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
Kim, can you see
I
it?
can see it.
It's fucking huge! How do they think they were gonna catch in this little fucking thing?
4 simple words, thank God. If he can see, then you're not insane. But that means...
But that means...
it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence. Its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
What the fuck? We are gonna have to end it right here because that is fucking crazy, my dog. We will be back in the next episode to discover all about that. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.